يعني هل بتستثمر في الصناعة ولا لا، والدولة بتشجع الصناعة ولا لا، وهل كان الأولى إن الدولة في المرحلة دي
it or not? Should the priority be industry right now? I think that the answer lies here in this factory, and I'm keen on speaking transparently. This company, whose documentary we've watched, was established in the year 1927, so it will continue its centennial in 4 years. By time this company has played a big role, and this company's production equals 40% of the Egyptian economy. What happened? And this model does not lie only in this company, but it is there in most of the state-owned companies working in different sectors by time. And here we're talking about long decades, tens of years. What used to happen? There was no regular follow-up, and there was appointments for calibers and employees who are not trained and qualified to work in these companies. So by time we find that the staff of the company are double what is needed economically and feasibly. By time, the chairman of the company finds that he has a large number of employees and staff, double what he really needs. So all what he can do is to provide these employees with their salaries, and sometimes the factory needs maintenance and the resources are very limited, so the chairman does not know what he should do. Should he do the maintenance or pay the salaries of the staff? So these factories step by step are not well maintained and they deteriorate. And this holding company, before its restructuring, had 31 different companies in Delta. The number of staff was 48,000. Half of them were 24,000 here in Mahalla al-Kubra. And now the company has how many cumulative debts? 21 billion Egyptian pounds, be it for the taxes, for the insurance, for the state. The losses has reached 8 billion pounds. So as a state, to really develop this industry that is essential, the state reviewed this model because this was the case with all other state-owned companies and not just this company. So to select what can be restructured and what cannot be restructured, this depends on the presence of the private sector as well as the priority and the strategy of the state. This project to be upgraded, you have seen the figures, it needs 30 billion Egyptian pounds for this holding company only. 8.5 billion new facilities as well as the renovation of the existing ones, and we're talking about the different branches of the holding company and not the one in Mahalla al-Kubra, in addition to purchasing new equipments for 650 million euros. So the total is 30 billion Egyptian pounds. For this company to take the needed steps to benefit from the Egyptian cotton, and this Egyptian cotton would be spinned and it will come here. Spinning, weaving, dyeing, and then we can use this cotton in producing the final products, be it linen or ready-made garments. So we find that the Egyptian private sector is incapable of doing these first steps, especially the spinning and the weaving with these large number of products. So when we come to select a certain sector to restructure and develop, we select those that would serve the Egyptian economy and also help the private sector work afterwards. Where does the private sector lies? It lies in the last part of the process, manufacturing the ready-made garments or maybe partially in textile, but they need the product that they would use. So when we select a sector to develop, we select it according to the vision for the Egyptian economy, and we say that this is what can be renovated and developed, and for this it's better to stop the losses, as what happens with some sectors, like for example iron and steel, cement industry, because there are other alternatives from the private sector. So we find that it is better to stop the losses. But in this sector, textile, spinning and weaving, the state decided to strongly work on it. And to give you the figure, it is 30 billion Egyptian pounds in only one company. Can the private sector pay this 30 billion? Of course not. So this is the role of the state to come in and develop it. And we would settle the debts for 21 billion Egyptian pounds. So the total is 51 billion Egyptian pounds to solve a problem that we, the government, is not responsible for, but we're responsible for putting a reform plan to make a change. I am saying this because we could have selected the easy solution to say, leave this as is and go do something new. But we cannot do it because we're talking about Mahalla, Al-Kubra city, and its people who have always been working in this industry. So we selected the difficult solution to develop the existing factory with all its problems and challenges. I'm saying this so that you would understand how the steps and the solutions are complicated. We are now developing this, and these are the new machines that would be installed in the factory. Afterwards, we need to train the workers, and honestly speaking, we need to have a management, operation and marketing system that is totally different, and we need to have with us the private sector. If the private sector cannot finance, we played this role as the state, and the private sector would come to operate, manage and market with us because they are good in doing so. So the private sector can help us with that. Honestly speaking, going on with the same challenges and the modus operandi that used to be there would unfortunately make another prime minister after 10 years think again of restructuring and renovating this factory. So now we are pumping a large volume of investments, and I'm inviting the private sector to start working together in a real partnership. As the president said, he said that we are ready in all state projects for the private sector to be a partner in operation, maintenance, marketing, and even if he wants to be a real partner through investment. Okay, we have selected the difficult part that the private sector might not be able to do. This is the point I wanted to emphasize, that the state is selecting professionally which sectors can be renovated and upgraded, and start with the private sector working in a partnership to secure the sustainability and the development of work in these institutions. We do not once more to repeat the same mistakes that were made 30 or 40 years ago. We need to learn from the different lessons. That's why I'm emphasizing through this visit that the state is keen on supporting the sector of industry, and we need to be aware that until such a project comes to light, it needs 3 or 4 years at least. This is the case. As you can see, just the design, the construction, the equipments and the machines. This machine is 63 meters long. So for it to be imported and installed, and you can see how many machines and equipments are here. So the goal of this project is to increase productivity 5 or 6 folds to serve the local market and also to be exported, and to meet also the needs not only the state factories but also the private sector factories. So through this visit I'm emphasizing that this is a major project. The state is supporting industry, its companies, and we have a big restructuring plan for the companies that we found to be feasible. And in this case, we will provide tens of millions of pounds to revive these companies. I thank you all for this visit. And as you can see, and I wish to all the colleagues here to go on work together. And we wish that the President would be here with us when this factory operations. Thank you.